Hey guys, it is hot, it is humid, and it's kind of gloomy outside, and it's probably representative of some of the stories I'm going to be touching on in this quick video. If you have not heard about CDK Global, you're going to be hearing some of it today. From me, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on what's going on with that company and how it might affect you and I. I'm also going to be talking about Rivian getting an unexpected cash infusion from the VW Group. I'm also going to be talking about Tesla. I'm talking about the Cybertruck and why there's a glimmer of hope for the Cybertruck and Tesla. And then I'm also going to be talking about BMW. My name is Don. You're watching The Better Car Guy. Click like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into this. So if you've been trying to buy, sell, service, or even if you work at one of those major car retailers over the last 9 days, it has been hellish for a lot of people. And the reason is there's a huge company called CDK Global. They sell dealer management software that a lot of different dealers use. I think there are like 15,000 car dealers in the US and about 1,000 truck dealerships that use this software to manage everything from inventory to sales to employees to customer relationship management. This company's software got hacked by a group from Eastern Europe with what's called like a ransomware attack, and it completely shut the systems down. And over the last few days, a lot of these dealerships have had to resort to tactics they've not used since the 80s and the 90s, which is basically writing everything down on paper to keep track of all of their sales, etc. Keep in mind, about $100 billion in sales and retail transactions take place at car dealers around the country every single month. And that's a huge amount when it compared to the overall US economy. And for this attack to be happening right now in the last month of the second quarter, it will have a material impact on a number of things. It's going to have a material impact on the numbers that a lot of these companies have to publish. It's going to have a material impact on the GDP as well as all of the numbers that the US government put out. But there might be some impacts for you and I that we need to be aware of. So if you are a customer at a large car dealer, let's say you serviced your car, you bought a car, you sold them a car, you gave these people information. Sometimes it could be as simple as your phone number, an email, an address, but it could be more complex. You could have given them your social security number, your bank information, and other stuff. Over the next few weeks, we need to be a little more vigilant because with these hackers having gained access to the system, the company hasn't told us how pervasive the ransomware attack has been. So we really don't know how much data they got, if any. But we need to be very careful now about our credit scores, about access to our personal information, and anything else with the data that they've had in their system. So we need to start monitoring our credit. We need to make sure that if anyone is calling for information, that we don't just randomly give out our information, and that we're looking at our bank accounts and bank statements to make sure that these hackers don't have access to our money. The other people who need to be aware of what's happening with CDK Global, and I know they've been impacted, but it's really the employees, because a lot of employee data is stored on this CDK system. They have access to your payroll, which is your social security, your home address, and all of your other personal protected information. So you need to be kind of aware that maybe your data might be compromised. And again, this is my personal opinion. The company hasn't really said the extent to which their systems has been compromised, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So start monitoring everything, look at your bank account, make sure that if anyone is asking you to change passwords, etc., you're very aware of what's going on. You don't just randomly change your passwords and then lose access to accounts. Don't authorize anything. So just be aware that this ransomware attack on CDK, one, it will have an impact on the numbers that the government publishes at the end of the second quarter, which is in a few days, and it may have an impact on your personal information because it might be compromised. I was surprised like everyone else when Rivian announced that it got a $5 billion cash infusion from a legacy German manufacturer, the Volkswagen Group. Now, Disclosure, I have a small position in Rivian. I do own a few shares, not a lot, but enough. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I was also happy to see the stock shares kind of pop a little, even though now it's been a few days since the announcement and it's kind of trending back down to normal. But it's good news for the Rivian company. On top of that, Rivian just released their quarterly numbers, and they are reporting that their deliveries in the second quarter of 2024 is up 30% compared to the first quarter of 2024. So the company is doing better than some people are expecting. I know there are a lot of media companies that are beating the drum that EV sales is in the tank. I think it's in the tank for Tesla, but for everyone else that's making EVs, their numbers are in the double and sometimes in the triple digits. But why would VW give money to Rivian? What does this mean to the Volkswagen Group? Well, Volkswagen has released a number of electric products, and the biggest, weakest link in their products has been their software. They're not very good at software. They're good at making cars and tuning suspensions and stuff. But when it comes to software, it's best left up to the guys in Silicon Valley, which is kind of where Rivian kind of got its start. So VW is doing pretty much the best thing for themselves, which is they are going to the guys who do software pretty well. They're making an investment and a partnership with Rivian to get some of that brain trust knowledge into their organization, which they can then use to make their products better. So when Tesla reports the number of cars that it sells, it doesn't break them out into the different models or lines. So it doesn't say I sold X number of Model S's, Model X's, Model Y's, Cybertrucks, etc. It just lumps all the cars together into one big number. But there is one way in which you can tell what those numbers are based on recalls. So Tesla just announced the 4th recall for the Cybertruck. It released this car back in November 2023. And the span of that time, it's had 3 different recalls. The first recall was at around 7,900 Cybertrucks, and that was to fix the accelerator paddle slipping out and getting stuck under the accelerator, causing unintended acceleration. They also had another recall to fix pieces of the truck flying off because of adhesive being applied incorrectly. And then for this latest Cybertruck recall, it's due to the big wiper on the front of the truck. The most important thing is they sold over 11,900 Cybertrucks. The reason why that's a good silver lining for Tesla is, remember DeLorean, the company that made this silver stainless steel car that ended up in the movie Back to the Future? Over the 3 years in which that car had sold, they sold over 10,000 DeLoreans before the company went bankrupt and they were forced out of business. So in 8 months, Tesla has sold more cars than DeLorean sold in 3 years. Guys, last but not least, BMW. They make my head hurt every time they have an announcement. So 3 things going on with BMW. So the first is the BMW M symbol on their M models. Traditionally, this M symbol has been on their grille, the kidney bean grille. They're moving it from the kidney bean grille down onto the bumper. Not sure why. Who knows what's going on at BMW. The second thing is, just recently they announced this XM SUV, which was supposed to be the fastest car in the BMW lineup. It was supposed to be an authentic M product, not one of their regular sedans that done got the M treatment. Well, they're axing the XM models, and there's a high performance one called the XM Label Red. Confusing name. They've changed the name quite a few times. The bottom line is they're killing it off. They're not making any future variants. So the third thing from BMW is they just released the new version of the BMW M5. This one is called the G90 M5, and it's a hybrid. So it is going to be using the hybrid powertrain from the XM SUV model. Of course, the car is going to be longer, wider, but guess what? It's also slower than the outgoing G80 M5. I don't get it. And it's also 1,000 pounds heavier. BMW, how did you pull this off? The hybrid powertrain from the XM model is over 900 pounds. Alright guys, so the sun is coming out and it's getting a little better and it's still hot. I'm signing off for today. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.